mainstream media has been incessantly drumming up the threat of global warming, proclaiming it as an imminent catastrophe that requires immediate attention and drastic action. However, beneath the surface of this purportedly altruistic endeavor lies a complex web of motivations and interests that suggests a more sinister intention to control the masses through propaganda. By examining the underlying dynamics and the roles of various stakeholders, it becomes apparent that the mainstream media's fixation on global warming serves as a tool for manipulating public opinion and shaping societal behavior. One of the primary drivers behind the media's fervent coverage of global warming is the pursuit of ratings and revenue. Sensationalized stories about melting glaciers, rising sea levels, and extreme weather events captivate audiences and generate significant advertising revenue. By perpetuating a sense of urgency and fear, the media creates a self-sustaining narrative that maintains viewer engagement and attracts new followers. This commercial interest is compounded by the fact that many media outlets receive substantial funding from corporations and governments that have vested interests in promoting the global warming agenda. Governments, in particular, stand to benefit significantly from the widespread adoption of climate change policy. By presenting global warming as an existential threat, governments can justify the implementation of stringent regulations, taxes, and other measures that consolidate their power and control over the population. This is evident in the proliferation of carbon pricing schemes, renewable energy subsidies, and green infrastructure projects, which often serve as Trojan horses for increased government intervention in the economy. By manufacturing a sense of crisis, governments can sidestep democratic processes and impose their will on the population, all while claiming to act in the best interests of the environment and future generations. Another key player in the global warming propaganda machine is the network of climate change activists, researchers, and think tanks that have sprouted up in recent decades. These organizations, often funded by billionaire philanthropists and corporate interests, have created a vast echo chamber that amplifies the global warming message and marginalizes dissenting voices. By presenting themselves as impartial authorities on the subject, these groups have successfully infiltrated the media, education system, and policy circles, shaping the narrative and influencing decision-makers. Their ultimate goal is to create a global governance framework that prioritizes environmental concerns above national sovereignty and individual freedoms. The mainstream media's role in promoting global warming propaganda is further exacerbated by its symbiotic relationship with the climate change establishment. Journalists and pundits often rely on information and talking points provided by climate activists, researchers, and government agencies, which creates a feedback loop of confirmation bias and groupthink. This has resulted in a lack of diversity in perspectives, with alternative viewpoints and contrarian evidence being systematically suppressed or ridiculed. The net effect is a monolithic narrative that brings no dissent, stifling meaningful debate and critical examination of the issues. Ultimately, the mainstream media's fixation on global warming serves as a form of social control, shaping public opinion and dictating the boundaries of acceptable discourse. By conjuring up a sense of existential dread and moral urgency, the media and its allies in the climate establishment aim to create a population that is receptive to radical changes in lifestyle, economy, and governance. As the propaganda machine continues to churn out alarming headlines and dire predictions, it is essential to recognize the underlying motivations and the interests that drive this narrative. By doing so, individuals can begin to break free from the shackles of manipulation and forge a more nuanced understanding of the complex issues surrounding global warming.